Hello, nerds. This is Jesse from Rock Sugar, and you're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network. Keep it right here.
GeekCastRadio.com presents Geekcast Radio Special Episode Artist Spotlight Default. With your hosts, Mike TRTN Blanchard and JT from Saskatoon.
It starts with just you and I repeating myself, but you don't hear me. I can see what you see, but is it worth it to me? The same old conversation over and over and over. I'm just sick and tired of all those lies you tell me. You say the same things to me over and over and over. What I did wrong, it's like I'm falling from a mountain top. My heart keeps pounding and it won't stop. Can you see this? Hell, I'm leaving. I'm not giving. I still can keep the day from ending. No more messed up reasons for me to stay. Well, this is not for real, afraid to feel. I just hit the floor, don't ask for more. I'm wasting my time, I'm wasting my time. You can't stop the feeling, there is no reason. Just make the call and take it all again. And I know all there is to know, it's a dead end. Late at night, I'll come walking by just to see what went wrong. Late at night, you'll come crawling back just to steal a piece of me.
Hello and welcome to Geekcaster Radio. This is the Artist Spotlight for the 2000s, which will be continuing the epic music spotlight we have planned here at GCR. I am one of your hosts, Dave John Mike, and joining me is JT from Saskatoon, who apparently is not an authentic geek since he forgot about his favorite wrestler winning the title in his own hometown.
Fine, I'm sorry. I didn't do my research. Can we please let it go? And for
As
those
soon as
wondering,
people let Aquaman go, that'll be fine.
yeah, there's like, what, 6 people that don't let Aquaman go, Mike. I mean, and the 2 people that brought up my, not knowing a certain wrestling fact don't even really bug you about Aquaman, so.
Well, that's because one of them I would beat the ever-living shit out of, and the other one I can just kind of tolerate. Anyway, so today we are going to be talking about yet another Canadian band, In Default.
And that's not some sort of financial term either.
No.
Although there is a financial
Yes.
escapade that happens within this band's history, but
Sadly, yes, and we will be getting to that. Default is made up of lead singer Dallas Smith, lead vocals, Jeremy Horror guitar, Dave Benedict bass, and Danny Craig on drums. These guys hit it big in 2001 with
Yeah.
"Wasting My Time."
But
That's
it's just one of those songs, like right off, just the chorus where he just says "wasting my time" like over and over again. That
yep.
it's one of those few songs that does that I don't mind. I got to say right away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Um, and they hit with that, and they got huge radio airplay. When their album came out, the Fallout, I after hearing "Wasting My Time" so much and just having it bore a hole through my brain, I was like, okay, well, I need to hear what other things these guys, what other songs are they singing besides just this one. And "Deny" was another single off of the Fallout, and "Deny" is okay, but again, "Deny" was one of those ones where it got so much radio. Like once everybody was over "Wasting My Time" and "Deny" came out, they were like, we have to play this every hour on the hour, no matter what. And I like the song. It's a good song, but it's not one of my overall favorites that I can listen to from them.
Yeah, it's not up there.
It's maybe middle of the road. It's not the worst song they've ever done, but at the same time, it's not the best one that they've ever done. I
Hmm.
just don't. I don't know. I think it was because it was overplayed on the radio that it just kind of made me sick after a while.
Yeah. No, I've off followed like after "Deny" and "Wasting My Time." Like based on the strength of those two songs, I bought the album
Mm-hmm.
because I really dug their modern grunge kind of song
Yeah.
sound, like their that sound. The one that I liked after those two was "One Late Night,"
One Late Night. Yeah.
because it told a bit of a story, and it's just that's one of the things I like about Default, like the fact that they're discovered by Chad Kroger,
Yep.
rock and roll Jesus, whatever you want to call him. And we've talked about that before.
Yes.
It's and of course he also discovered Theory of a Dead Man, and I just like their music. Like they've got a good sound, and the lead singer Dallas is just got this. He's got this quality in his voice that it's not so much haunting,
Yeah.
but he's got that kind of Eddie Vedder like where he kind of holds a high like a note for just the right amount of time that just kind of
Right.
hooks you, like it hooks
Oh
you
yeah.
just like that.
Oh yeah.
So
I
I don't know. Especially the first album. Like the first album, I still love unequivocally. It's when
yeah.
you move on from that, it doesn't peter out, but it's few and
Oh,
far
for
between.
me, it totally does.
Yeah.
Like I love the band. I love a lot of their songs, but the Fallout was number. Well, obviously, it was their debut album, but it was also the album that I like the most songs off of. Just looking at the track listing,
Hmm.
I love "Sick and Tired" was amazing. That first track, oh my god, was so fucking cool. I loved that. "Deny," whatever. "Wasting My Time" was great. The other ones I liked was "One Late Night" and "Funny Story." And Dustin Van Core is probably going to kick my ass for this, but for some strange reason in 2001, I would always play this song, "One Late Night," and Seven Dust's "Dead Set" back to back. I don't know why I would play those two songs together, but I don't know. But "One Late Night," "Live a Lie" was another single off of there, "By Your Side," and "Faded." Those are really the only songs off of the Fallout that I actually like. A lot of the other ones just didn't grab me.
Yeah.
Um, Now, after this, before they released Allocation, which is the next studio album, they had released Blind for the Spider-Man soundtrack. Absolutely love that song. That was a great, great song.
I love that soundtrack.
Yeah, I love bits and pieces of that soundtrack. There are some things on there that just whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Allocation was their next album, and it didn't like the lead single "Taking My Life Away." It was they wanted it to be another "Wasting My Time,"
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it got there.
Now that one, it was an okay song,
Yeah.
but again, that I lumped more in a category of, radio play. Like, hey, let's put
Yeah.
this on heavy rotation. No one's gonna care because they all love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, not everyone loved it.
The funny thing is with this sophomore album in Allocation is that Taking My Life Away, All She Wrote, and what was the other one? There was Throw It All Away. Were the three singles,
Hmm.
but yet you have a song like, and again, just like the Fallout, you have a song that kicks you in your ass as soon as you start it with Who Followed Who.
Yeah,
And I loved that song. I don't know why it wasn't a single. You have Who Followed Who and Made to Lie were the two outside of Taking My Life Away that I absolutely love off the album.
yeah.
All that she wrote is good. Alone is good. The rest of them are just kind of meh.
Well, I mean, certainly, I mean that's your opinion. My two, like outside of the singles on Allocation, I loved Crossing the Line and Break Down Doors because that's where they get. Because I mean, when it comes to rock music, one of my favorite things is I like guitar riffs. I like
Right.
it's probably my favorite instrument. I can't play worth a crap, but
Yeah.
Crossing the Line and Break Down Doors, they both have like that. They really channel that '90s, Seattle grunge thing with their guitars because there's a growl to it. There's this energy. I
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily say a violent energy, but there's a lot of energy in those songs that I really, gravitated towards.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking the band, but yeah, Take My Life Away. It's like I used to wear around the time Allocation came out, I was still working in a 7-Eleven, and we just put it on the Rock 102, which is the rock station here in Saskatoon, and it seemed like every 10 minutes, I'm like, hey, here's that song that everybody loves. And I would say something like, hey, here's that song that I could verbatim lip sync
Yeah.
because I'd
Yeah.
heard it so many times and I just didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of sad when you hear a song so much from a band you like that you start not caring.
Well, that's exactly what happened to me on, with Deny. I mean, Wasting My Time got tons of radio play, but Deny, after Wasting My Time kind of faded and people were over with it, Deny got so much radio play, it was like, this song is making me hate this band, actually. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where, oh my God, it's like you can't get away from it. I will agree that Breaking Down Doors is a good song. Um, but like I said, just the ones that stuck out to me, and everyone can tell their own opinion. But like I said, Who Followed Who? Obviously, Taking My Life Away. Made to Lie. Made to Lie was a good. It wasn't. It was a slow song, but it wasn't like a slow romantic song. It told the story of how someone was made to lie.
Yeah.
Y- you know, um, and I thought that was really really cool. But other than that, like I tried listening to the album as like from cover to cover, and I just couldn't.
Yeah, I
I,
mean,
I just
it's the
couldn't.
only other default I have
Yeah,
besides the Fallout. Like the next was it One Thing Remains and Comes and Goes.
yeah,
I've heard a couple of songs off of each. I mean, One Thing Remains. Basically, the only song I remember off of there is "The Memory Will Never Die," which was one of the theme songs for WrestleMania 23, and it was used. It's been used a few times in the Tribute to the Troops editions of like SmackDown,
yeah,
and that's really the only song I know off of there. The only other one that I really, because went on YouTube and you can find like the whole song, whole
yeah,
albums on there and videos with like lyric videos. Uh, I did kind of like Count on Me.
yeah. Count on Me was a good one. For me, honestly, all is forgiven is my favorite, which is the first track. I can't win was another good one, but again, I just sadly think that default is just kind of like going. They're just fading and fading, and like they started off really really great with the Fallout, and then the next two albums they just kind of like phoned it in.
Yeah, they
I mean, you know,
coasted.
there's maybe one or two great radio play songs, and like I said, All Is Forgiven off of One Thing Remains is a great song. I love that. You know, I love that style that they used on that song. But again, it's not an entire album that I can listen to.
Yeah, no, like I said, the Count on Me, One Thing Remains was a pretty decent song. I like that one, like listening to the videos on YouTube and that. But yeah, it's just I think I only know the one or two songs total off of Comes and Goes, but especially with One Thing Remains, they coasted, like they were coasting.
Yeah.
But because we spoke off air about, and at the beginning there, about some financial troubles. Maybe we could bring up TVT quick at this point.
Yeah. Well, really quickly, I want to cover Comes and Goes
Yeah.
because, like, I got it through Amazon at the time because it wasn't in iTunes.
Hmm.
And the iTunes version is so weird because, like, I have my volume for my computer set at usually, I don't know, 20-25%, just because, you know, you can't have your computer volume at, you know, 50-60% all the time. It would blow people's, you know, ears out. Um, and I can hit, you know, the preview track on any other album, and it would play just fine at that level. I click on the Comes and Goes album, and I go to hit a preview track, and it's so low. It's like they were sent really horrible MP3 versions of the songs because it just sounds so. It doesn't sound like they got a correct version of the album because it just doesn't. I have to turn my volume up to hear it, and then when it goes to another song, it's too loud. So, but I did originally get it through Amazon MP3.
Hmm.
Now, there are a couple songs on here that I like. I think "Show Me," "Supposed to Be," and I think the first three singles were "Turn It On," "All Over Me," and "Little Too Late." Which "All Over Me," funnily enough, is co-written by Default and Richard Marx. That's kind of weird.
That's kind of cool, but weird, but
Kind of cool,
cool.
but it's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, the whole thing with Default, you know, it's kind of sad that they've really faded into this obscurity. I think. I mean, you know, from you know, One Thing Remains till Comes and Goes. That was a long period of spanning, and then Comes and Goes was so weird because they released it in Canada in 2009, and then they waited a whole year to release it in the U.S. And like, what the hell? Makes
Well,
no
I
damn
mean,
sense.
I don't know if that was really their decision, but
Well, no, well, no, well,
the
I'm not saying
company
it was their
obviously.
right,
But
right. I'm not saying it was their decision. I'm just saying, like, you know how, okay, every Tuesday, music and DVDs and TV on DVDs, albums drop and everything else. My question is, why is it, September 2009 that gets released in Canada, and then like a year later, in October of 2010, it gets released in the U.S. Like they had to wait a whole year to release it to the U.S. That makes no sense. It was just one of those really, really weird things.
yeah, but again, like I said, not necessarily the band's fault. That was probably
Right.
more like political,
Yeah.
whatever, within the company. But yeah, no, like Comes and Goes. The only tracks I know were "Turn It On" and "Caught in the Moment,"
Yeah.
which I did. The "Caught in the Moment" again. It's got that unique default sound to it, and I think it's one of these days I'll track the songs down on YouTube and listen to it. I think it's a pretty decent song and definitely in keeping with Default's style. But again, I don't think they've faded so much into obscurity. I mean, because it's a lot of like there's a lot of pop radio like artists that I heard when basically the newest station in Saskatoon's Wired 96.3, and they're like all basically it's a top 40 radio station, but they're playing
Right.
like all the like the rap and remix, and they've got
Yeah.
like actual DJs. And there were some artists on there that I heard like two or three songs, and then I didn't hear of them again for like 3 years. Oh, they're still recording. I thought they were done. And
Well, yeah,
that's
but
just the thing with Default is that it's like any band. They're always working. They're always recording. And until you see that blurb on like TMZ or Much Music or MTV or whatever, they're still there. So I will admit that they're definitely kind of fallen by the wayside.
They have, and that's really what I mean about fading into obscurity, because like, I know, okay, 2005, and we already talked about this last episode, but 2005, Nickelback released All the Right Reasons, and then they went on the All the Right Reasons tour. They toured for 3 years, and then they went back into the studio and released Dark Horse in 2008. So, I knew, like, they're in the limelight. Same thing with Theory of a Dead Man. They released Scars and Souvenirs in 2008. They released The Truth Is last year. So 2-3 years, yes, you are correct, is, average for a band. But, like, until I did a search on Google for Default, I didn't even know that they were putting out, after One Thing Remains, it was like, oh, okay, well, they're no longer doing it. I didn't know. I just didn't know. And then I found this thing. I'm like, oh, they have a new album finally. Yay. I mean, it's the same thing with another band I like, and I know I'm kind of going off topic here, but it's another thing. Course of Nature. They released their album Supercala in 2002. And then they left the music industry for like 6 years. They released Damaged in 2008, and it's now 2012, and it's been 4 years. We haven't heard anything from Course of Nature, so I don't know what the deal is with that band either, but it's like, it's these bands that, that you want to follow, that you love certain songs from them, but they just kind of disappear.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's just, excuse me. Yeah, but I mean, I like Default, and I like them enough that I will, probably stick around to the point of exhaustion, listening to them. But again, like, they're a band, I mean, like I said, discovered by Nickelback, which definitely gives them a couple of points in their favor. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a sliding scale when it comes to the quality, because I love everything on Fallout. I love mostly everything on Allocation, and then I like 3 songs off of One Thing Remains and like 2 songs off of Comes and Goes.
Yeah,
they do a 5th album. Am I even gonna care? Because, and it's not for waiting. It's for, basically, if the first track off of their 5th album, which I'm sure is coming, if it doesn't
blow you away,
yeah, I'm probably like, yeah, I still like them, but I'm not going to make as much of an effort anymore to listen to them. Yeah. So
they're kind of they
still have that talent. It's just they need that motivation.
Yeah. And I think part of the problem with the motivation is the fact that they got screwed.
Oh, and how?
By TVT Records. Now, just a little background on TVT for those that don't know. TVT Records started out as TV Tunes, which was founded in 1985 by Steve Gottlieb. They are responsible for, in the beginning, television's greatest hits, 50s and 60s, 70s and 80s, Remote Control, Cable Ready, all of those overpriced CDs that you can find with 60, 70 TV tunes on different CDs and stuff.
Yeah, they're kind of the jerky little brother of K-Tel Records.
Oh wow, yeah.
Only reference I had.
Yeah. Okay, so their problems started 1 year after Default signed with them. In 2002, the label got into a dispute with Eliar Cohen, head of Island Def Jam. The dispute involved Cohen and Universal paying former TVT artist Ja Rule $8 million to not deliver an album paid for by TVT, and promised the TVT instead deliver it to Universal. In the resulting litigation, Universal was prohibited by the courts from releasing the album created with TVT's funding. In the ultimate trial over the claims of fraud and tortuous interference, a jury awarded TVT a $132 million judgment, Universal appealed the ruling. On appeal, Cohen and Universal argued the existence of an agreement between the parties meant that their behavior was only a breach of contract and not fraud or tort. The court agreed, reducing TVT's award to $126,000.
Oh, damn.
Good Lord, you go from $132 million to $126,000. Wow, that's a loss.
Yeah, in the words of Samuel L. Jackson, that's gotta sting.
Yeah. And in 2007, TVT lost a $9 million lawsuit to Slip and Slide Records when a Florida judge ruled that Slip and Slide had legal rights to distribute an unreleased album owned by rapper Pitbull that he recorded for Slip and Slide in 2001. TVT, who signed Pitbull several years later, had sought to notice third parties, such as record stores or digital download entities, that the distribution and the sale of the album would violate TVT's exclusive right to create new music by the artist. The judge, however, ruled against TVT as Pitbull had made the recordings prior to signing with TVT and awarded Slip and Slide a $9 million judgment as TVT attempted to block the sale of the album. TVT filed for appeal but was unable to post the required bond, thus TVT filed for bankruptcy. Oh boy. And then in February of 2008, Gottlieb stated, "This is not the end of TVT." In June 2008, however, the digital music label The Orchard was declared the winning bidder by a New York bankruptcy court and gained control of TVT's artists, contracts, catalog recordings, and its distribution infrastructure, thus ending the TVT Records label imprint. The music publishing assets were transferred to TVT Music Enterprise and later purchased by Reservoir Media Management. Say that 5 times fast.
So I guess that was the end of TVT.
Yeah, TVT is essentially gone now.
They're an entity on paper.
Yes. And, for default, this is like, huge deal because, from 2005 to essentially here in the U.S., 2010, that's 5 years without an album. I mean, yeah, it got, Comes and Goes got released in Canada in 2009, but for here in the U.S., that's 5 years without an album. And they switched from, obviously, TVT to EMI Canada and Fontana Universal. So, they got just, and all over 2 rappers. I find that extremely funny that the rock band got screwed over by lawsuits from a record company and rappers. Oh boy.
Well, because no one listens to rock anymore. All the kids like is rap. Damn you, 80s. But no, that was damn near a death blow for Default. And like I said, I still have a lot of love for the band. And like I said, I hope their 5th album is kick-ass.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, maybe they'll take this whole experience the last couple of years and they'll channel some of the obvious rage into their music. I mean, certainly couldn't hurt.
Yeah, that's very true. I just don't know where they can go to stand out from not only other Canadian rockers, but other current rock bands now because, like I said, Comes and Goes, there was no huge promotion, there was no, everything now, all of the bands are on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, and there's promotion everywhere. Roadrunner Records has promotion out the ass on YouTube and stuff like that, and all these companies have all this promotion, but yet Default just kind of falls by the wayside, like you said before, and they're just like, oh, those guys, yeah, we don't, yeah, whatever. Do
we have to hang out with them?
Yeah, exactly. Do we have to hang out with those guys? But it's like, I don't know. Like with Saliva, Seven Dust, Nickelback, Theory of a Dead Man, now Blackstone Cherry, Hinder, Buck Cherry. I don't know if Default can really hang in rock anymore. I just don't know.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to fight for a place at the table. I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, you just look at their history, like sliding scale of quality. I still love them, but you got to be honest.
Yeah.
There's a sliding scale of quality, and they've got to put some more passion, into their work.
Yeah. And again, this is something we'll talk about later when we get to that artist spotlight. But, take a look at Theory of a Dead Man. They are a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but that's what they like about themselves. They want to be tongue-in-cheek with, songs like Bad Girlfriend and everything else. But take a look from 2008's Scars and Souvenirs to 2011's The Truth Is. Between that time, Tyler Connolly went through a divorce. So, of course, all of the songs are on The Truth Is going to be, He-Man woman hater songs. You know what I mean?
I can see that in what was that first track that came off The Truth Is?
The first track was Low Life.
Low Life. You can see that in Low Life.
Yeah, Low Life is the tongue-in-cheek. The one where it's like a He-Man woman-hating song is The Bitch Came Back. Stuff like that. They're great songs, and I love Theory of a Dead Man. But what I'm saying is, like, Default needs, and I don't want to wish ill will towards anyone, but for them to step up to the table now at this point, they need to not evolve, but they need to have something to say. Yeah. Doesn't have to be political. Doesn't have to be like, oh my God, we stand up against this. They just have to have something to say from their personal lives or whatever. They have to make a meaningful record at this point to stand out from everyone else.
Yeah.
And I hope that they do it. I still listen to their old stuff. As we've said, I love a lot of the songs off the Fallout. I still love listening to them. But it's just, it's kind of a sad history for them.
Yeah, it's just... I don't necessarily mean this exactly, but they've definitely got a little bit of abused trailer park girl going on. Like it's just they've been slapped around so much, and they're still trying to make it work.
Yeah,
but they just keep going back for more.
Yeah. Oh God, I got a better reference. It's like, Lone Ranger, tell me not to go to town. Well, why don't you listen to him? I'm trying to give you the advice. What is the advice? Advice say, Tonto, don't go to town. They're gonna beat you up again, man.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna head to a commercial break, and then we're gonna come back with the closeout of the show. So we'll be back after this.
Burn out dreams of others which I can't steal. Take or leave this way I seem to you. It eats right through you. Ripped up parts of things I should do. I'll run around until you're screaming. Oh, I live a lie. Oh, I live a lie. Oh, I ain't even try. I've been leaving
You can now hear the Geekcast Radio Network while on the go with Stitcher Smart Radio. Stitcher is a free use and talk mobile app available for your smartphone. And when you download Stitcher to hear Geekcast Radio, you'll have a chance to win money. Downloading is quick and easy. Just find Stitcher in the App Store. During registration, hit the promo code box and enter Geekcast Radio, all one word, to get automatically entered to win $100. The latest episodes of the shows will be waiting for you in your favorites. You'll get access to lots of other amazing shows too. Always available to you on demand, no syncing. It's Stitcher Smart Radio. Don't forget to enter promo code Geekcast Radio when you register.
So we are back, and just as some closing thoughts for me on Default, I love Sick and Tired, Wasting My Time. What really pissed me off about Comes and Goes is they re-released Wasting My Time, but they put like a Chinese twang instrument into it. You know what I'm talking about, JT? Kind of like a, oh god, watch Mulan or something like that. Like it was some weird Chinese musical sound. I don't know. It was so weird. I was like, why are they re-releasing a different version of a song that made them famous over 10 years ago?
Hey, nostalgia market. What are you gonna do?
I just, I hope they come back with a fifth album, and I hope they succeed, but sadly, I think that Default just needs to default on themselves.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's, but oops. No, I definitely agree that Default needs to, they need to step it up, not referencing the movies, and they need to...
Oh,
and God, Default. They need to step it up. B, they need to, find their cojones. And C, I would recommend the band sit down and listen to the Fallout, it separately and as a group, and then try writing some music again. Try and rediscover that, Eye of the Tiger they had back then. Because that, like I said, that's the problem. There was definitely a sliding scale in terms of quality when it comes to their music since their debut, and I really love the band, and I would love to see them go on and succeed a little further. So,
yes.
I mean, what else can you say about them? Love the band, love their music, and like I said, I hope the fifth album kicks some ass.
Yeah. At this point in their Wikipedia article, there is no mention of a fifth album, which is kind of sad to me. But, hey, they're... could be, eventually. One of these days. Maybe, we'll have to wait another 10 years to get it, but... So
you never know what's going to happen.
Nope. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Geekcast Radio. Wish you'll join us next time when we will be continuing the Artist Spotlight with Lifehouse. For now, I am TFG1 Mike with...
JT from Saskatoon.
Thank you for listening. Until next time, keep rocking on.
You've just listened to Geekcast Radio on the Geekcast Radio Network. There are several ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. First, visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on all of our different podcasts. Second, you can rate our show and leave us feedback in iTunes. Third, follow us on Twitter at Geekcast Radio. Fourth, become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/GeekcastRadio. Call the voicemail line 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you are leaving the message for and your name. So until next time, unleash the geek in you.